previous night, I believe I saw my jacket floating.
I screamed, "Help! Help! Help!"
I was constantly shouting for help.
My madre and father ran inside my crib and said, "What wrong?"
My parents burst into my room and repeatedly shouted, "What's wrong?"
So I screamed, "My jacket flying!"
So I shouted to my parents, "My jacket is floating."
They screamed that my jacket not flying.
Then they told me that my jacket was not floating.
I screamed, "My jacket is flying!"
So I shouted back, my jacket is floating."
We was fighting back and forth to see who was right.
We were constantly shouting over who was right.
The next morning I woke up and I walked into the kitchen.
Then I woke up the next morning and walked into the kitchen.
And guess what I saw?
Just imagine what I was gazing for.
As my mouth was opened, my brother had my jacket on a fishing line.
My brother was holding my jacket with fishing line.
And that's the end of my mystery of my floating jacket.
That ended the mystery about the floating jacket.
So I saw a ghost, and that day made me get scared.
I noticed a spirit and it frightened me.
Now y'all think I'm seeing things, but if y'all saw that ghost, man, y'all be scared too.
I know what you're thinking, but you would have been scared as well.
Then that ghost disappeared, and then a book started flying. So the ghost threw it at me, and I booked it.
I saw the spirit disappear as the book flew at me, causing me to run.
So then the ghost was chasing me out my house. So when I was running, that dang disappeared as soon as I hit the road.
After I ran, I saw the figure still chasing me out of my house, and as soon as I hit the road, it was nowhere to be found.
So then when I went back, I wrecked it. I wrecked the house, and then the spirit chased me from the house, and then that thing was banging some invisible wall or something.
Well, I went back and wrecked the entire house, including the old grave, and the spirit emerged, and as I ran to my safe road, I noticed it beating for freedom against an invisible barrier.
And I haven't been back since.
I haven't returned since.
I was walking down to the hat store, and I saw this mad man. He said, "Give me all those hats." I said, "Buy them from me." He stole them from me, then captured me.
I was walking to my occupation and I spotted a madman who called himself the Mad Hatter, and he had come to steal the shop's hats. I had announced, "You have to buy them first." He soon afterwards captured me.
Good thing I had my whip and phone, because I hit him with my whip and called the cops right after I hit him. Then the po-po showed up and beat him up, then arrested him.
Amazing thing that I had my whip and phone with me because I whipped him and called the cops. The cops showed up and arrested him.
Wednesdays, I was walking through my yards, and Mr. Tree says, "Helps me, helps me."
One day, I was walking in my beautiful yard, and a tree, supposedly called Mr. Tree, yelled, "Help me, help me."
I asks, "What's wrong?"
And I asked curiously, "What's wrong?"
And Mr. Tree says, "Those purses cut down to me muttered."
And he said, "Those people cut down my mom."
And I asks, "Where's this they take your mother?"
I asked, "Where'd they take your mother?"
And Mr. Tree says, "They took her into those persons' house, and they strangled her with bow rain lights."
He said, they took her into a house and strangled her with beautiful, colorful lights.
Mr. Tree says, "Every day I'll watch her through that glassy thing and look at how beautiful she is."
Every day I'll gaze through that glass window and see how beautiful she is standing there.
I was asleep in my bed, and there was a calling sound coming from under my bed.
I was sleeping one night in my bed, and I hear a clawing noise coming from underneath my bed.
It was a monster!
It had been a monster.
I look under the bed and get dragged under the bed.
I looked to see what the noise was, and I get snatched underneath the bed.
Ah! It was a blue and white monster.
It looked as if it was a white and blue monster.
I pull on its head and it comes off. Ah! I pass out.
I snatched off its head and I black out.
My kid screams, I killed my mommy!
I hear my child scream, I killed my mother.
When I wake up, my kid is crying.
I wake up to my child in tears.
I asked him what happened. He said, Mommy, you're not dead.
I'd asked him what was wrong, and he said, I had thought I killed you.
I was the monster, Mommy.
I was the monster mother.
Go back to sleep. It's late and you shouldn't be up.
Go back to sleep. It's 3 in the morning. You have school in the morning.
What had happened was that I had got home and set my Doritos down.
What happened was I got home. I had just got back from the store and set my Doritos on the table.
I turned around and there's a ghost eating my Doritos.
When I turned around, a ghost was eating out of the bag.
So what I do, I ran and threw my shoe at it.
So what did I do? I started to run, then I threw a shoe at it. The ghost with the bag.
That house is haunted. It went right through it.
That house is really haunted. Yes, indeed. The shoe went right through the ghost.
I tell you, it picked up a chair and threw it at me.
I'm telling you, the ghost picked up a chair and tossed it at me.
After that, my TV started floating.
After that, my television started to float.
Then I was sitting in my recliner, and it floated up in the air.
Then when I was sitting on my recliner, it started to float in the air.
I tell you, I ain't going back there.
I will never go back there.
I was driving down to the store to get a drink, but I saw a goat eating a kid's jacket.
When I was driving down the road to the store to get a drink, I saw a goat with a kid's jacket trying to eat it.
The little rascal was scared and ran away.
I turned around and saw that the kid was very scared and ran.
I tried to help, but that freaking goat started chomping my butt like it was a little chew toy.
I tried to help, but the goat ran into me and started to chew on me.
Then the biggest bull I've ever seen was charging at my stomach.
So I was speechless, and at that moment I saw a humongous bull galloping towards my stomach.
It ran into my stomach and I thought I was gonna blow some chunks.
Then it ran into my stomach, and I thought I would get seriously injured.
I ran to my stupid car, but my car flipped over thanks to that big fat bull.
I ran to my very old car, but then it flipped over because of the overweighted bull.
Then I got out of my car and ran to the roof till the bull ran away.
I waited on the bull to go away, and I ran to my house.
Then the bull ran away and I ran to my house and thought, this is the worst freaking day ever.
When I got to my house, I thought to myself, this has been a horrible day.
I was out going to the gas station to get me and my friend Frappuccino Mocha. My friend and I went to the gas station to grab a cold beverage.
We saw a fashionable moose fighting a man that looked like he came out from a dumpster.
We saw a very fashionable moose that was attacking a man that looked like he had crawled out of a hole. That's why I'm going to start using FarmersOnly.com. This is why I'm going to start using FarmersOnly.com.
The reason why the man was getting attacked probably because he was so ugly.
The reason he was getting attacked was most likely because he was so hideous.
I was driving my car down to Starbucks.
I was driving my vehicle to Starbucks.
I got my coffee, and on the way home, I bumped into a car. I spilled all my coffee all over my clothes.
I got my coffee and on my way home, I rammed into a car and spilled all my coffee all over my outfit.
When I stepped out, I found out that some of the color of my car got scratched off.
When I got out and I found out that some of the paint came off,
I was so angry.
I was furious.
When I got to the paint shop, they said I had to pay double.
When I got to the body shop, they said that I had to pay double.
I decided to hop in my car and go to the Dollar General and get some old cheap paint.
I decided to get in my car and drive to Dollar General to get some old rusty paint. I got the cheap paint and spread it all over the car.
I got the paint and threw it all over my car.
By the time my mama got home, she was so mad at me.
By the time that my mother got home, she was very furious at me.
By the next day, I was grounded from my car, and I would forever know not to use cheap paint. And that's my story of how my day was messed up from a car crash.
By the time that my mother got home, she was furious, and now I knew never to use old rusty paint on my car again.
So I done went on America's Got Talent, and I want to be a comedian.
I went to a place called America's Got Talent, and I was going to be a comedian.
When I went on the stage, the judges asked for my name, so I said, Bo.
When I went on the stage, the judges asked for my name, and I said my name is Bo.
The judges asked me what I was doing today, so I said, I want to be a comedian. I want to do comedy.
The judges asked me what I was going to do today, and I said I was going to do comedy.
I got 4 X's by the 4th joke because the judges didn't think they were good enough.
I got 4 X's on the 4th joke because the judges didn't think I was funny.